My name is Logan. This is my grandpa Gail. He is 64. The title of my dream story is Persistence, Focus, and Getting Along with Others. When I sat down with my grandpa, he said the most important thing to remember is always have persistence, stay focused, and get along with people. My grandpa was born in Manchester, Iowa, and he adored the outdoors. He said difference from my time to his time were all the electronics like computers, phones, and mobility. Next, he was drafted and he served in the Vietnam War, where he received the Silver Star because he was a war hero. When he returned from the war, he got a job at Quaker Oats. Finally, Christmas is important to him because Jesus was born and you get to spend a massive amount of time with your family. Now he looks forward to watching his grandchildren grow.
My name is Lauren and my grandma is 70 years old. This is a story about value each day. My grandma House believes in the importance of learning and family. She always says value each day. When she was little, she valued her daily chores like cleaning her room, taking care of her dog, and mowing the yard. She knew the importance of learning and went to a business college where she earned a 4.0 grade average in business. This gave her the goal of learning and achieving throughout her life. Another way she values each day is by watching her kids and grandkids grow up. She and I enjoy spending time together. When my grandma comes to my house, I like to show her all of my drawings and gymnastics moves. She has taught me to value each day too.
My name is Lindsay Armour, and this is a story about my grandpa Dennis Nelson, who's 55 years old. He's called Planting the Seeds of Life. Plants grow like people. My grandpa Dennis has helped me grow. At a young age, he started learning because he believes in the importance of education. He went to a community college where he became a mechanic, which helped him in his farming. Later, he became the Young Farmer of the Year for harvesting the most crops. After that, he and his brothers worked together on the farm, planting, harvesting, and fixing tractors. His highest compliment was from a neighbor who told him how nice his farm looked. He married and had 2 children who he taught how to run the farm. Years later, his son continues to run the farm. His daughter moved to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which is where my sister and I were born. He has taught me many things, one being how to run a tractor. Every time I visit him, we run the tractor together. He continues to watch his family grow in a great way.
Trent Utek, grandfather Mark Stoneking. He is 56 years old. He is a hard worker. My grandfather, Mark Stoneking, has always been a hard worker his whole life. As a child, he was adventurous and liked to play outside. He also had chores like washing dishes and mowing the lawn. This is where his hard work started. When he grew up, he became an equipment operator. Soon he got married and had 2 kids, Russ and Megan. Then he was made fire chief and worked hard to keep people safe. He liked it when he won water fights at the state fire convention. Grandpa Mark has always liked to give time to his community. He is now a bridge building boss where he's a hard worker too. My grandpa always says, treat other people the way you want to be treated.
My name is Toby Elson Burnham. My grandpa is Keith V. Elson Sr. My title is The Important Things in Life. My grandpa Keith V. Sr. told me, love the important things in life and always be a hard worker. When he was little, he was responsible of feeding the farm animals, chopping wood, and heating the wood stove. When he was growing up, he remembers World War II and the space program, which led him to open his own business called Aaron Scale System Incorporated. He works on electronic scales. He also works hard by being in the U.S. Air Force as a radar technician. He graduated from college and has received honorable mentions of several ideas used in the NASA space program. I like spending time with my grandpa, and he has taught me how important it is to to have good manners, help others, be kind to others. Because of my grandpa, I am a hard worker.
Hi, I'm Austin Riley, 9 years old, and this is my grandpa Bill Ford, 78 years old. The title of the story is The Love of Life. My grandpa once told me the family unit is the love of my life. My grandpa was a truck driver and mechanic who worked hard for his family. His highest honor was a 10-year safe driving record. At Christmas time, the family unit is important. I will never forget the Christmas when he helped me put all the batteries into my remote control helicopter. He and I had the most exciting time flying it from upstairs to downstairs. Even though it crashed many times, there was no need to worry because it was fixed by my grandpa the mechanic. Because of the strong family unit, my grandpa's purpose in life is to be the best father and grandpa. I think he has already done this because he fixes things for us, gives us things we need, visits me at school, and takes care of me. But most of all, he taught me to be honest. My grandpa has taught me to continue to love my life and the family unit.
Hi, my name's Alexis and my grandma, and this is my grandma, Pam Skelton. The best quality about my grandma is her persistence to accomplish her life goals. She had to overcome obstacles like going to college to become a teacher. She was first a nurse but had enough courage to decide to do something else. Her favorite thing about being a teacher is watching the kids learn. She has always cared about others and shown that in many different ways. The biggest compliment she has ever received is that she had a kind heart. My grandma also had the courage to go to Africa and speak to women about God. She considered that to be a big goal. If she would not have had the courage to try new things, she would not have accomplished her goals. Now her goal is to spend time with her family and go to Africa to live and work. My grandma is a very kind person.
My name is Allie Casper. My papa is Taylor Beale and he's 67 years old. The title of my story is Persistence of My Papa. My papa, Taylor Beale, grew up in Vinton, Iowa on a farm where he learned the importance of persistence. He had daily chores in the farm of feeding pigs, milking, and feeding the cattle. When he was older, he married my wonderful grandma and had 2 kids. He worked for the Cedar Rapids Fire Department where he enjoyed helping people. He heard many thank yous after saving people's lives. Not only did he help people in the fire department, he served in the military and received a Bronze Star Medal for being a hero. I am proud of him. When I spend time with him, he shows me persistence when he tells me how he always finishes what he has started. My papa is an amazing man who I love.
Hi, my name is Berkeley Wessels, and I'm 8 years old. And I'm interviewing my grandfather, Gerald Potocek, and he's 58 years old. My title is Hard Work. My grandpa believes it is important to hard work. My grandpa was in the U.S. Navy, and he was selected as Chief Petty Officer in the U.S. Navy. He spent 3 years in Japan building houses. This was his first big act of hard work. Then he came back to America and has been a carpenter for the rest of his life. His talent of woodworking have given him skills to be a master finish carpenter. After you're done working, you can see the work you completed, showing that hard work and determination pay off. His 4 kids telling him that they appreciate everything he does for them is the biggest compliment he has ever received. My favorite time with him is at Christmas because we share family time. His dad taught him to respect others, and they will have respect for you because they will see and respect you for your hard work. My grandpa's biggest purpose is to bring happiness to other people and try to always look at the positive side of things.
My name's Alicia, and I'm doing Carl Williams. My grandpa is a hard worker. My grandpa, Carl Williams, taught me that having a good work ethic and believing in yourself is so important. He said life is more about finishing things, not as much about starting things. My grandpa was in the Vietnam War for 2 years, working on the gunboat and troop ship. He had to believe in himself to survive. He worked hard after the war at the Hershey Chocolate Company, and later he owned and operated his own business. His hard work paid off when he became a pilot and always tried to improve his learning. A special time with my grandpa is when we watched the Hawkeye football game together. We cheered loudly together. He has worked hard his whole life to be a good parent and grandparent and give us guidance.
My grandpa is a farmer. He has been farming since he was a little boy, helping his dad with the farming chores. He now does the chores himself, like taking care of the cows. Farming has been his job most of his life. It gave him the freedom to make his own decisions, and he liked being outside. Farming gave him more responsibilities and persistence. It also gave him the ability to accomplish projects. These qualities are shown in family time with my grandpa. When I get to visit, he lets me help with some of the farm chores like feeding the cows and cutting the wood for the fireplace. My grandpa enjoys family time by seeing the children and grandchildren, especially at Christmas time. The best life lesson that my grandpa gave is to always do the best you can.
Caroline Roush, 9, and her grandfather Lee Roush, 75, value life. My grandpa is very good at building things. One of his jobs was building houses. He said that was his biggest talent. The best thing about building houses is that a family goes inside it. My grandpa's favorite family tradition is getting together on Thanksgiving because he likes to see the whole family there to put up the Christmas tree. This is perfect because he was proposed in life to raise a good family. In my opinion, he has completed that. Grandpa Lee has 5 kids and lots of grandkids in his family. My favorite thing to do with my grandpa is go on vacations. Each year he goes to Florida on vacations with my family. I get to spend extra time with him. We play on the beach. We cook meals together, and I love this family tradition. When my grandpa was younger, he had a job in the Army. My grandpa didn't just want to stay in the Army his whole life, since he wanted to value a different part of his life, having a family. He says the biggest honor is when I gave him a card on Veterans Day because it showed him I valued his life in the Army. The biggest piece of advice he values is you can do it no matter what it is, and to always value life.
Cal Glasgow, godmother Dan Hinker, and an amazing teacher. Dan Hinker has been a great teacher her whole life. She had thought of being an environmentalist, but because she liked to help classmates with their work. As a child, she was in 4-H and raised around pigs, and learned about helping others. As a child, she grew up. Her parents were very giving, unselfish, worked hard, and showed how much they valued education. When she got older, she went to the University of Northern Iowa. Her degree was in middle school education with an emphasis in mathematics. Through her job, she has helped people become better teachers. She said, I hope my children and grandchildren remember that I was kind and nice and that I loved mathematics. In particular, that I loved learning about how children and young adults think about numbers and shapes and other mathematical ideas. My godmother has helped lots of teachers be better at teaching mathematics, but most of all, she has taught me the love of math.
Learning is important. As a kid, Scott Phillips liked sport he wanted to play baseball. He got allowance 50 cents a week. Scott spent it on baseball cards. As a teenager, he thought he knew everything. He found out he didn't know every. He is still learning things today. He studied business and accounting. He ran a rental business and he loved every moment. Scott learned to be careful with his money. It was important to have a good job and money in the bank. His family taught him to make your own problems and not to blame others. Scott would like to be remembered for being kind. He is looking forward to the future and what it will bring.
This is Mason Kim, and the title of this dream paragraph is Hard Work in Baseball and Golf. My grandpa, Bruce Kim, has always taught me to work hard. He went to the University of Iowa for a semester and right into professional baseball out of high school. He worked hard as a professional baseball player for 34 years. He played catcher, manager, and coach. He loved baseball, and his nickname was Gamer because he helped win games. The thing he liked least was travel and being away from our family. He is in 3 baseball halls of fame. I have been to the Iowa Hall of Fame. He was persistent, had a goal, and kept working hard to be in Major League Baseball. He is still persistent today, but in the sport of golf. He has taught me a lot about golf. Now I know how to chip really well, and I can drive more than 140 yards. My grandma showed me that hard work really pays off.
My name is Joe Myers and I'm 9 years old. This story is called Don't Wish Your Life Away. Have purpose in your life. The person I interviewed was my uncle Nick Myers. He was born this morning and was a moral child who wanted to be a cop when he grew up. He remembers the moon landing, the president being killed, and even a war. He worked hard in his life. He had chores at home, doing dishes and mowing grass. Back then, he only had 3 channels on the TV. Cars didn't have front-wheel drive and very little technology. He became a UPS driver, got married, and had 3 children. He is very proud of his kids since they worked hard to make their life successful. He is proud of a safe driving award. He has persistence, which led him to retirement, but his purpose in life has been a good dad and grandpa, a man who is generous and always living by having purpose in your life.
Hard work. To begin, I interviewed my hardworking 63-year-old grandpa, Pat Davidson. He was born in a hospital in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and grew up in the country in Anamosa, Iowa. Next, some of his chores were to mow the lawn, pulling weeds, and taking care of the hogs. After graduating from high school, he went to the U.S. Army. He worked for the lawyers as a legal clerk in the U.S. Army. He said it was a very good experience. Then he got married and had a child, my mom, Amy Lynn Davidson. She was their only child. Half his life he was a purchasing agent, and the other half a salesman. He sold industrial equipment and semi-trucks. He had persistence in his job when he spent most of his time going to businesses to sell. He especially liked the tough sales, and his least favorite was when people didn't see him on the day they said. I also learned my grandpa showed persistence throughout his life. He realized that things aren't just given to you. Instead, you have to work hard for them. For example, he had to go back to the same people over and over again to make a sale. As you can see, my grandpa worked hard. He worked hard in chores, in the U.S. Army, and in his job as a salesman.
Courage and honor.
My Grandpa Steve is a courageous and honorable person. When he was young, he realized it is important to think about yourself and others. After high school, he was drafted to Southeast Asia with a front row seat in the Vietnam War. He was very courageous while he was there. My grandpa says most good compliments come from what people do rather than what they say. This is why I think he is honorable. My grandpa thinks it is important to be persistent. He says nobody gets a hit every time at bat. The most important things in life come after long, persistent effort. Once in a while, you'll hit a homer on the first pitch, not very often. My grandpa enjoys being around people, especially me. My favorite time with him is when I visit his house and we go to Algator to go fishing together. My grandpa is a courageous and honorable man.
This Dream Stories by Lydia Whitaker 9. Being a good citizen. My grandpa has always been a good citizen. He was born in Keokuk, Iowa. He grew up during World War II. My grandpa's purpose in life was to be a good citizen. He did this by being a good man, always being honest and never lying, and always helping others. When my grandpa was growing up, he went to college for business and then got a job as a payroll manager. At his job, he had his own office. My grandpa became a good citizen by graduating college and working hard in his community, like with his church. He did this by having persistence and never giving up. Today, my grandpa shows this quality in his family life. His favorite tradition is Sunday dinner. He loves seeing his family and wants them to be good citizens too, and will always love them unconditionally.
Importance of family. Marilyn Kennedy was born in Macomb, Illinois. She was a well-behaved child. She fed the animals and dusted. Her allowance was 75 cents a week and saved her money. Marilyn Kennedy loved typing, and when she grew up, she became a manager at Rockwell. She loved her job and was nominated for Employee of the Year. She married Michael and had 2 children. Marilyn feels that persistence is important. She never gives up. She still loves animals. She enjoys spending time with her family and loves Christmas time. As she continues her life, she is looking forward to watching her children and grandchildren live their lives.
Love our family and our earth. My grandma Mary Christine Stapleton Romig loves her family and our earth. She was born in Vinton, Iowa, and was a shy little girl. She was the youngest of 12 children. She has taught me to never give up and treat people as you want to be treated. She has strong self-esteem and has grown into being confident in her life. She has helped to set goals for her life. She doesn't worry about what others think as long as you are making good choices and believe in yourself. We like to spend time together. Birthdays are always special when we are together. My grandma and I plant a strawberry garden and pick them together. They are so yummy to eat. Her purpose in life is to give back to the earth. She has shown me how to love our family and care for our earth.
Family importance. My grandma lives far away in California. This means I don't get to see her very often. But when I do get to see her, we do lots of fun things together. My grandma's favorite thing to do is spend time with her family. She was married in 1981 and had 6 kids. The biggest compliment she received was that her children are beautiful and they look just like her. She now has lots of grandchildren and is looking forward to having more in the future to love. Her 2 favorite things are helping people and family gatherings. She shows as much care for other people as she does to her family. She was a paramedic for 10 years and also thought about being a nurse. My grandma is so caring she took care of everyone else instead of herself. My grandma's favorite family tradition is Thanksgiving because we get to talk about what we are thankful for. She is thankful for her family and wants us to remember how important we are to her.
Hi, I'm Caroline Riggs. I am 8 years old, and my grandparent Carol Castles is 67 years old. The title of this story is Follow Your Dreams. Carol Castles told me it is important to follow your dreams. She did this by becoming a teacher and by loving her family. Carol became a teacher when she got married and had 2 sons. Instead of worrying about cleaning her house, she worried about playing with her boys. She went to college and got 2 degrees, one in math and one in science. Her most cherished family tradition was having dinner on Sundays with her father telling stories. My most cherished moments with Carol are when she comes to my school and helps in our class. With Carol she helps me with computer programs. I read to her, she edits writings with me, and she shares with my class all the places she travels to. She let us ask a question about Costa Rica before she left. Then she researched and took pictures while on her trip. And finally, she returned with a presentation for our class. The picture of the houses, animals, and culture were amazing. Our class loves to have her come and show us to always follow your dreams.
Olivia's Ripper, 9, and Aunt Anne Lily, creativity. My aunt is a celebrity for her art quilts. She is one of the best aunts that I have because we sew a lot of things together and she teaches me a lot about sewing. My aunt is an artist and specializes in quilt making. She makes quilts for a living, and when there is an art show, she decides which one she wants to enter. She has shown persistence in her work, which led to her earning a quilting award in 2008 in Des Moines. She is also a quilt teacher and teaches the kids she works with how to dye their own fabrics. When she is not at work, she makes quilts and sews for her family. We are very thankful for her creativity. She looks forward to more time with her children and quilting, and to have grandchildren and pass on her creativity to them.
This dream story is by Alia Altable 9. Grandma Susan. I interviewed my grandma Susan Edmonds. She ran her own daycare business out of her home for 18 years. She liked being able to raise her 2 girls. She thinks it is important to be persistent. Even when there are struggles, my grandma keeps on going. The most important thing in her life is her family. She especially likes spending holidays with her family. She looks forward to watching her grandchildren grow. Her important advice is to always remember the golden rule, be truthful and never steal.
My name is Chloe Mims, and my friend is Carol Castles. Carol comes to our classroom every week. I really like how she always gives me a high five or a hug and smiles and waves at me. Carol says that she appreciates all compliments, big or small, and has the highest award that she's ever received is being a mom. She has 2 boys. The one thing that has helped her most in life is the support and love of her husband. They were married for 44 years. Her happiest moments are being outside and being by the ocean. She loves being with children and family. She also got to go snorkeling in Costa Rica with her oldest son when he got married. As you can see, family and being a part of our classroom are very important to Carol.
This dream paragraph was by Charlie Wilbur, the age of 9, and his Uncle Charlie Sorrow, 59 years old. Be an honorable person. My Uncle Charlie Sorrow always says be an honorable person. He has shown this in many jobs throughout his life. He was a police officer, an architect, and a career soldier. He served his country in the Vietnam War when he joined the Army and was a military police officer wearing that uniform of the United States, and marrying his wife of 32 years old are his 2 highest honors. Being an honorable person to him means being the best dad in the world. His father once told him,
A man should not be judged by a job or how much money he made, but how he cares for his wife and children. He does the best to live by these words. And throughout his life, being a Christian, he has shown me this because he was at my first communion. He has taught me that everyone makes mistakes, but how you deal with them is more important than the mistake you made. He also believes in common sense is important and has helped him throughout his life. Another honorable trait is being a man of your word. That is my Uncle Charlie. My uncle continues to dream and hopes to retire and live in Florida, enjoy the warm weather and his family. I am so grateful to have such an uncle who's shown me the importance of honor.